Christmas has come early for gamers because Gamescom 2022 just gave us a look at some of the most hyped games that are currently in development. And one of the most unexpected but equally exciting games is the new Dune Awakening. If you're still recovering from that intense trailer, rest assured, in this video, we'll be going over everything we know so far. So let's dive into it. Firstly, we know what genre it's going to be. We're sure you were just as taken aback as we were when you saw the words Open World Survival MMO at the end of that stunning first trailer. And yeah, how could we not be? It's rare to see MMOs nowadays, let alone open world ones. So having a company dive headfirst into one with an IP much like Dune is definitely an interesting thing to see. From the official details we've gotten from their Steam page, the game is described as combining both the grittiness and creativity that comes along with survival games. But of course, we can't forget that it's an MMO first, and because of that, it seems that the social element that makes these games so good is going to be prevalent. The game is set to have social interactivity of large scale, with persistent multiplayer. The goal looks to be to offer a unique take on the open world survival MMO genre. Let's just say, calling this game ambitious would be downplaying it. As with any open world game, it seems players will have access to a number of areas to explore, but it'll be no walk in the park. The game is set to take place on the most dangerous planet in the universe, Arrakis. And with its dangers, you'll have to try and survive to the best of your ability. Also, can we take a moment to talk about that amazing trailer? While we might not have gotten any gameplay footage from this initial look, we can't say we're too disappointed, because the visuals and exciting monologue was enough to get us hooked from the very first second. The trailer opens with a character standing on a cliff on the planet of Arrakis. We get to see some stunning shots of the landscape of this desert wasteland, and in the distance, there's a sandstorm brewing. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, the guy's base seems to be swallowed up whole by a massive sandworm that emerges from beneath the ground. But of course, he's not scared. In fact, he's going on about how fear is the mind killer. The character looks dedicated to taking on this giant worm with the two short blades he's got equipped. Well, we wish him the best of luck, but we certainly wouldn't take that fight. While we're not sure just who the character in the trailer is supposed to be, it might be that he's just a placeholder to represent what the player character in Dune Awakening could look like. But it's also possible that he might be a significant story character, maybe the game's version of Paul Atreides. The fact that he's voice acted and unreasonably badass sort of hints that he might be a bigger deal than we'd initially think. The trailer ends with him taking his chances and jumping onto the sandworm to battle it out. Next up, what will players be doing in Dune Awakening? Survival games are known for the difficult challenges they put players through, and following that tradition, players in Dune Awakening will have to build shelters to protect themselves from sandstorms while also maintaining their still suit. And throughout their journey, they'll have to master the old ways if they plan on getting through the deep desert environment of the game, all the while trying to avoid becoming lunch for those colossal sandworms that can pop out from under the dunes at any moment, much like we saw in the trailer. Yeah, the most dangerous planet is definitely right. The whole idea behind these types of games is how the world around you is constantly changing. Surviving would be a breeze if things were always the same, wouldn't it? And it does seem like the developers behind Dune Awakening plan on offering players a sandbox that's never the same on any 2 days. The game is described to have an ever-changing world to explore, so you'll likely never run out of things to find. Within the desert sands, there's said to be ruins of long-forgotten testing stations, as well as remains of fallen spaceships for you to discover. There's also dusty corridors and sectors that might never have been discovered by another person ever before. If you've got the mindset and skills of an explorer, it looks like this game's going to have a lot for you to enjoy, and we honestly can't wait. Moving on, what will the character customization in the game be like? Part of what makes open world MMOs so fun is all the customization customization that players can add to their characters, making them feel uniquely theirs. And it definitely seems like Dune Awakening will offer players the ability to do exactly that. From what we know of it so far, players will have the ability to tailor every aspect of their character to meet their needs as they explore the lands and hunt for spice blooms, which are a sort of currency in the game. You'll have the opportunity to consume these to unlock powerful new abilities, but it looks like getting these spices will be no easy feat, and so anyone in control of the spices will likely be in control of all of Arrakis. Now that's a challenge that we're sure many gamers are already up for. Spice blooms are gathered through harvesters, and we're sure to see loads of fights break out between raiders and rival factions looking to get your stash. And that may include enemy players too. So we hope you've got some friends or allies of your own as backup. As these epic fights break out, you can even take to the sky on ornithopters to chase down foes or escape them. As you customize your character further, you'll be able to construct powerful fortresses that match your liking to a T. So it sounds like these spices will play a big role in the game, and getting them is going to be a huge deal. Now, as for the developers behind this game, it's none other than Funcom. If you've dabbled a bit in open world MMOs before, you'll likely be able to recognize their name. The game studio is behind a number of MMOs in the past, most notably Anarchy Online, their MMORPG, and Conan Exiles, an online multiplayer survival game. We bet you're starting to see why they were picked for this job. They've definitely got the portfolio to back their abilities, but we wonder if they'll be able to do this project justice. There's no doubt that it's going to be their most ambitious one yet, with an open world that's promising to be absolutely massive, and a whole bunch of systems for construction and character customization. To top it all off, seems we're going to be getting both player versus environment and player versus player action in this game. So that's yet another thing to keep in mind. Hey, we're definitely not trying to shoot down Funcom, but it's clear that they've got a lot on their plate with this project. Still though, if there's any studio that would really be in their element when working on Dune Awakening, it would be them. So we're not too worried about how the game will turn out. And finally, what platforms is the game coming to? So far, the game is confirmed to be coming to the PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. If you're still sporting a last-gen console and were hoping to get your hands on this game, you're sadly out of luck, but it does seem like you have quite a bit of time to get a current-gen system, because so far, the game doesn't really have a release date. While it's available to wishlist on Steam and beta signups are already underway on the official website, it might be a long time before we'll be able to explore the world of Arrakis for ourselves. And while no one likes to wait, we definitely get why the game might be a bit far off still. The thing is that making an MMO is no small feat, especially an open world one. To add life and excitement to the open world, it needs to be filled to the brim with opportunities and fun things to discover. So it shouldn't come as a surprise why we might have to spend another gamescom or two waiting for more Dune Awakening news. That said, if you'd like to be the first one to be in line to play the game when its beta officially launches, we highly recommend signing up for the beta on their website. Signing up also means you'll be informed via email in case anything new pops up. Plus, there's a whole bunch of cool artworks and details about the game there, so it's definitely worth a look. That's a wrap for this video. Are you just as excited to play the Dune Awakening game as we are? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.